Welcome to our deep dive into Paris in 2073 AD Time Traveler's Journal. We're not just flipping through pages this time.
Oh, definitely not.
We've got excerpts, chapter summaries,
Right.
critical reviews, even some peeks into the World Without Humans series that this book, kicks off.
Sounds like we're in for a real treat. I'm curious, where do we even begin with a premise as intriguing as a time traveler exploring a post-apocalyptic Paris?
Well, the beauty of this story is how it takes something so familiar like the City of Lights and just transforms it into this hauntingly beautiful ruin.
Yeah.
Imagine, the Eiffel Tower not as this symbol of grandeur, but as this lonely sentinel overlooking a city completely reclaimed by nature.
Wow, that image of Paris, a city usually so alive, reduced to ruins. It's captivating, but also unsettling. It really makes you think about what's left behind, after humanity's gone.
Exactly. And our unnamed time traveler, he lands right in the thick of it.
Oh, wow.
And his mission, should he choose to accept it, is to unravel this whole mystery of humanity's disappearance.
Oh, really?
But first, he's got to navigate a city that's as dangerous as it is beautiful.
So how does the story actually unfold? Like, what are some of the encounters, the discoveries that shape his journey through this unfamiliar Paris?
It's like a puzzle box, really.
Okay.
Every chapter reveals a new piece. We start in the abandoned metro,
Hmm.
and the narrator starts encountering these signs of life. Some wonderful, some terrifying.
Okay, like what?
Think like bioluminescent mushrooms just sprouting from the tunnel walls
Wow.
alongside mutated rats.
Yeah, I can see how that would be both intriguing and a little scary.
Right. Then we move on to these iconic landmarks like the Louvre, Montmartre,
Oh, wow.
even a Parisian catacombs.
Each one probably just a shell of its former glory.
Exactly, just a desolate echo.
These landmarks, it's like they become characters themselves.
Hmm.
I mean, using such recognizable places must make it so much more impactful for the reader.
Absolutely. So you have the Louvre, once a testament to human creativity, now standing empty.
Right.
Montmartre, known for this vibrant art scene, eerily silent. And this contrast, this past and present, it really, I think, underscores the fragility of human civilization.
It really does. It makes you think. And the author uses these stark juxtapositions, like you said, to really drive home that sense of loss. Almost like they're saying, look at what we built, what we lost.
It's true. But amidst all these ruins, there's this recurring mystery. It surrounds this powerful quantum device.
Okay, what about it?
It's hinted at, through these cryptic messages, ancient texts.
Right.
It becomes central to the narrator's quest.
To the whole thing, really.
Yeah, was this technology the cause of humanity's downfall? Or could it hold the key to understanding what happened?
It makes you wonder, right? Did we create the very thing that destroyed us? It feels relevant today, even.
Doesn't, though.
Yeah.
But let's, before we go down that rabbit hole, let's jump into a pivotal moment in the story. The narrator's encounter with this pack of feral dogs in chapter 11.
Oh, yeah.
The urban jungle's gambit.
The Urban Jungle's Gambit, that chapter really puts you right there in the thick of it. Survival in this new world.
Totally. We leave the grand landmarks behind and we're thrown into this life or death struggle.
Against creatures who've adapted to survive in a ruined city. It's a whole different kind of danger.
And this scene where he faces off against these dogs, it isn't just about action, though.
No.
It raises this chilling question. In a world stripped bare, do the ends justify the means?
That's a tough one.
He's backed into a corner,
Yeah.
and he uses his wits and a discarded book on warfare to pit the dogs against another denizen of this new Paris.
Yeah. Wow. Manipulating nature's new order. Is that any different from how humanity treated the planet before? I mean, talk about unintended consequences. That seems to be a big theme in the story, wouldn't you say?
Huge. And this dilemma, it isn't easily resolved. It makes you examine your own moral compass, you know?
What would you do in that situation? Makes you think.
It really does. It's a testament to the author's skill, I think, that a scene with such high stakes also makes you think about these deeper issues.
Absolutely.
But before we get lost in an ethical debate,
Right.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the story's connection to other science fiction classics.
Okay, yeah.
The lone traveler in a post-apocalyptic world. I mean, that's not exactly a new idea, is it?
True. There are definitely some parallels we could draw. I'd be interested to hear your take on that. Yeah, as intense as that encounter with those dogs was, it's just one piece of this much larger puzzle.
Totally.
What else can you tell us about the world the author has built in Paris in 2073 AD? I mean, what makes it stand out?
Well, I think one of the things is just the detail, the meticulous detail
Oh,
that
yeah.
the author uses to build this post-human world. Like, it's
Yeah.
not just about cool visuals of overgrown ruins.
Right.
It's about, like, the logic of nature reclaiming its space.
Yeah, yeah.
You see it in how plant life has adapted, these
Uh-huh.
intricate ecosystems that have just sprung up in this new Paris. Remember those bioluminescent mushrooms?
Oh, yeah, yeah, from before.
They weren't just there for show.
Right, right.
It hints at these ways that life finds a way,
Of course, of course.
even in the most unexpected places.
Life finds a way.
It's like the city itself is becoming a living organism again.
Wow.
Almost like this beautiful overgrown terrarium.
That's a cool way to think about it.
But it's not all, beauty and bioluminescence.
No.
This is still a world in ruins where everything reminds you of what's been lost.
Right, the remnants of human civilization are everywhere.
Exactly, precisely.
Haunting, almost.
There's this one chapter,
Okay.
The Silent Sorbonne, where he explores these ruins of this famed university, and amidst the crumbling lecture halls, the overgrown libraries,
Right.
there's just this palpable sense of knowledge lost.
Mm.
It's a testament to the fragility of human achievement.
Makes you realize that even our greatest creations...
Don't last forever.
Exactly. And it's not just our buildings and books that have been transformed, right? What about the animals? The feral dogs? Sure, but what else?
Oh, absolutely. The author populates this world with these fascinating glimpses of a completely transformed ecosystem.
Oh, like what? Give me some examples.
Okay, so we've got birds with bioluminescent plumage,
Whoa.
rats navigating the underground with this almost eerie intelligence.
Wow.
And there are these whispers of these larger unseen creatures lurking in the depths of the Seine.
Okay, so it's like nature is experimenting, filling the void left by humanity,
Yeah,
but with a mix of like the familiar and then totally strange new developments.
totally. It makes you wonder, like, what would happen to all the creatures we share this planet with?
Right. What would happen to us?
If we were just out of the picture, like, would they just revert to these primal instincts? Or could we see these new, more harmonious relationships emerge?
Kind of makes you hopeful in a weird way.
Yeah, well, that's, I think, the beauty of the way the author approaches this theme, right? We
Yeah.
see these glimpses of both. The struggle for survival, of course,
Right.
alongside these, like, surprising examples of interspecies cooperation.
Okay.
So it's not spelled out for you, but it gets your mind going, It leaves you with more questions than answers.
I can see that.
But before we wander too far off into this, wilds of this post-human world, I want to circle back to something you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
This whole thing with the mysterious quantum device.
Right, right. We know it's important, but why? What's the big deal with this device?
So imagine a machine with the power to, like, reshape reality itself.
Okay, that's a lot of power.
That's essentially what this is, this quantum device.
And the memory stick.
Oh, yeah, the one the narrator finds in the Louvre.
Right, right. I missed all the art.
That memory stick holds the key to unlocking all its secrets.
And what does it reveal?
It's fascinating and terrifying all at the same time.
Ooh, that's a powerful combination.
It's more than just information, though.
Oh, that's-
It's like a window into the souls of the people who lived through all of this, this collapse.
Yeah, you're right. Like those digital fragments we talked about.
Exactly.
It's not just about the technology itself, but about the humans who created it, use it.
And we find this message from a heartbroken mother,
Oh, wow.
a scientist wrestling with this guilt over the unintended consequences.
Which there always are.
Right, a politician desperately trying to hold on to order as the world is crumbling around him.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even in a global catastrophe, it's those individual stories
The human cost,
that really get you.
that matter the most.
Exactly. These weren't evil masterminds trying to destroy the world. It was scientists, dreamers, right? People who just wanted to push the limits.
Of what's possible.
Right. But somewhere along the way, something went wrong. And we're seeing the fallout of that.
It's all there in those digital fragments, though.
It's heartbreaking, really.
This picture of a civilization just on the brink.
And a warning for us.
Right.
Because it makes you think, are we any different?
Right.
It makes you question our relationship with technology today.
Totally.
Our ability to, like, really understand the risks of what we're creating.
100%.
It's a theme we see in a lot of sci-fi.
Yeah.
But this book, it makes it feel real,
So real, and especially when you see how those seemingly small choices, right? Those compromises, those things we do in the name of progress.
That snowball.
they can cascade into something so much bigger
than we could have ever imagined.
than anyone could have imagined.
Okay, but hold on. We've talked about the setting, the events, the whole shebang.
Right.
But what about this narrator?
Yes.
Who is this guy? What's he all about?
That's the interesting thing about the narrator.
Okay.
He's kind of an enigma.
We don't know much about him.
We see these glimpses of his personality. We see he's resourceful,
All right.
determined. He has these moments of hope and despair, you know.
Yeah, understandable.
But his true motivations, why he's been sent back, it's never fully explained.
Do you think that's intentional?
I think it might be.
Like the author wants us to see ourselves in this guy.
Yeah, like navigating this world.
Alone, searching for answers that might not even be there?
Exactly.
Because aren't we all time travelers in a way? I mean, we're navigating the present, carrying the weight of the past.
And the uncertainty of the future.
Exactly.
It's a really smart way to tell the story because you're projecting your own fears,
For sure.
your own hopes onto this character.
Okay, but with all this talk of mystery and the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
we still don't know what happened to everyone else.
It's the big question.
Yeah. What was the fate of humanity in 2073?
Right. We've danced around it long enough.
Time to face the music.
It's time to confront the silence and see what answers, if any, we can find in all of this. So the big question,
The one we keep coming back to.
what happened to everybody?
Right.
Did they just vanish? Was it like one big catastrophic event, or was it something more gradual?
That's the thing about this book. It's both generous and frustrating.
Okay.
Generous,
Huh.
because it gives us these clues
Okay.
sprinkled throughout the logs,
Yeah.
the notes.
Right, right.
You start to see this picture of a civilization really grappling with its own demise.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because it never gives you a straight answer.
So no big reveal.
Not really. And maybe that's the point.
You're saying the lack of an answer, that's a message in itself.
Exactly. It's like the uncertainty those people must have felt.
Wow.
But here's what we can piece together, right? It wasn't some sudden apocalypse. No meteor strike, no global pandemic.
Okay.
It was more like a cascade.
Okay. Like a domino effect.
Exactly. A series of events, each one seemingly small,
Right.
but together.
Created this perfect storm.
A perfect storm of catastrophe.
All right. I'm hooked. Break it down for me.
It all comes back to that quantum device.
Of course.
Seems like for all the good it was meant to do, and those memory stick entries, they show good intentions.
Yeah, they did.
There were some seriously bad side effects.
Like, what are we talking?
Big disruptions in the Earth's magnetic field, atmospheric anomalies, that kind of thing.
So not a giant laser that just vaporized everyone.
Nope, sorry to disappoint.
Yeah.
Sometimes subtlety is scarier.
True.
It's like the butterfly effect, but on a global scale.
Okay.
Those initial disruptions,
Yeah.
they messed with the ecosystem.
Right.
That led to unrest, then economic collapse.
It all just unraveled.
Exactly, one system after another until, well, you get the picture.
A slow burn then. Just this gradual unraveling of everything.
It makes you think, how would we react? Would we come together? Or would we fall apart?
Yeah, that's a big question.
This is the question the book is asking.
Yeah.
It's not just about the dangers of technology, but about us, about our resilience, and also our capacity for self-destruction.
Right. That's a scary thought.
And it reminds us that the choices we make today, they have consequences, big ones.
That's a lot to unpack. But on a more practical note,
Yeah.
how does our guy even survive in all this?
Right. Time travelers got to eat.
Exactly.
Why he's resourceful.
Yeah.
Starts with scavenging.
Makes sense.
Canned goods, rations, whatever he can find.
Yeah.
But as he goes deeper into this new Paris,
Yeah.
he starts to understand it.
Oh.
Learns what plants he can eat, even figures out how to fish in the Seine.
Wow. So he goes from surviving to, like, thriving.
Adapting, right. He's learning to live with this world, not just against it.
Which, maybe that's the takeaway from all of this. Paris in 2073 AD, I mean, even when all hope seems lost,
Yeah.
life finds a way.
It always does.
It might not be what we expect,
Yeah.
but it's there.
And that's a powerful message. It's about resilience.
It really is. Even when things are dark, there's still something to learn, something to be gained.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's just understanding ourselves a little better.
Our place in it all.
And that's the beauty of a book like Paris in 2073 AD.
What do you mean?
It doesn't just tell us a story.
It's more than that.
It gets us thinking. Makes
Yeah.
us confront these hard truths about ourselves, about the world.
And hopefully it makes us think about building a different future.
You're one where we're more aware.
More mindful of the planet, of each other.
Well said. And for our listeners, if you're ready to dive into this world yourselves,
Yeah, check it out.
you'll find a link to Paris in 2073 AD in the show notes.
Along with some other thought-provoking reads.
Just like this one. Trust us, this is a deep dive you won't soon forget.